Real quick, and everyone's ready.
These were some of the ones we were looking forward to. This is a big heat race as well compared to everything that we've seen so far tonight. Looks like we'll have 9 cars on track out of a possible 9. So it looks like everybody's here for this one. Kyle Keller on pole position in that number 12 machine. Will be accompanied on the front row by the number 18 of Austin Edwards. Back on row 2 inside in third, the 98 of Adam Lemke, and Austin Herzog outside in fourth. Back on row 3, P5 tonight, the 43 of Tanner Reef with Jesse Love once more in that number 6, talking about double duty earlier on tonight. He's in the 38 machine for this one. Back on row 4, 21 machine of Denzel West, I should say, will be joined by RJ Smotherman at 8th. And then all alone on row number 5 at the back, looking to move forward, the 16 machine of Lily Mead.
I'm loving the lineup that you just read because for low-budget TV, we are used to seeing a lot of these kids, and I say kids because that's what they are, literally jumping from the Bandoleros. Last year we saw some of these drivers running Bandoleros, and now they're running late models. Here we go.
And the green flag flies first of 70 laps. These junior late models down to turn number 1. Challenge is going to be for second. The number 98 machine of Lemke wants P2.
Do you think this guy's going to just choose? Oh, there we go.
Well, I mean, we did pick the perfect spot, so you can't blame him.
It's true, yeah. I mean,
and I don't think they like the start on that one.
Well, because he got in the way of the drivers.
They're looking out for us. They got us.
Appreciate that. At the top.
But this is the first of a couple of feature splits. We have 70 laps in these. The Pro Truck features 50 laps as well as midgets later on tonight for 30 as well. So cranking up the action a bit as the night goes on.
Then I got to change the graphic because I totally forgot that this is 70 lap main event.
And what happened before doesn't count. So we'll try it again, and Kyle Keller on pole position takes the green flag. First of 70 laps. Good challenge, front row. Edwards is right there in turn 2.
Austin Edwards, driver who, like I said, we've seen him grow up in short track racing in his very short racing career so far. Right now, battling for the win.
I think tighter that time by the start-finish line than they were the first time. Still 2 by 2, the battle for first, third, fifth, it's on. Keller trying to get a little bit, got about half a car length clear in 2, but just can't get rid of Austin Edwards on the outside of the racetrack, who leads that time by.
This is competitive, Evan. I mean, look at this thing. They're still on a high-speed pace lap.
Talking about how everybody says that there's a lot of speed here, and I think finally clear for the race lead. Does Edwards move down, though? No, the 02 the 12 of Keller going to keep a nose, but it's not going to stick. And we finally have the battle for the race lead dealt with, and now a fight for second inbound. Herzog coming right to the outside.
This is an awesome class, beginning division for youngsters to step into full-size cars. They are restricted, as you can hear. Bouncing off the rev limiter at the straightaways. This class normally races at Madera Speedway, but very cool with the Bullring staff, Richter and the boys, letting them come and run this 3/8 mile.
It's starting to see some civility with 5 laps complete, and spinning there in the back, just as I said that, the 43 machine, Tanner Reef from P7 is around. Somebody else going around with him from behind. I think that 16 of Lily Mead, but I got caught up in some of the slick stuff.
Yes, sir. Around they went. The 43 might have locked up the brakes a touch, going down into turn number 1. And that's when caution came out. I'm pulling up a replay so we can take a look. As the drivers are pulling away now. So here you see, down into turn number 1, the 43 just spins it out, and the 16 doing a fantastic job. That could have been a tank slapper into the
it was
side.
Headed right for that car that was sideways in front, so that could have easily ended up with 2 in the fence, and instead both just spin around, they keep going, and there's no issue.
Yeah, maybe up in the marbles or something, but the 43 does spin it out. And the lights are out from the pace car, and slight contact with the right front. No harm, no foul in my book. We're a short track race.
It was going to come later on in the race anyways.
Yes.
Just from a bumper, so.
And the lights come back on.
Position. down the inside. This should be a fun restart. like we've got some debris on the track.
I think they're looking for debris here on the front straightaway. Spring or something?
Don't know.
Definitely picked something up, though, so they wanted to clear that off of the front straightaway, and the lights will go back out on top of the pace cars.
It looked somewhat important, maybe a little bit bulky, but we did have a car make contact with the wall, so it could have been something.
And I didn't catch if that fell out before the car spun or if it was when that car came back around. There was something there. And it's out of the way with the lights out on top of the pace car, so we'll go back green. 65 laps to go.
Looks like we are counting cautions in this one.
Well, then the good news is yellow flag laps don't count in the total, so we get still plenty of time as green flag comes back out. Watch that 11 machine trying to challenge for the race lead because Herzog got right up there for second on the last one, and the restart giving him top side of the front row is going to put up a challenge for Edwards.
Ooh, into turn 3, contact is made. And we stay green for now.
Race control going to let it go green. They want them to get back going. Caution flag is going to fly. They waited about as long as they could. The 12 is going to be able to roll now. And I think they kind of wanted that battle for the race lead to go on. But the yellow flag does come out. We'll line them back up once more as the 12 machine goes around. And Keller drops all the way to the back.
Dial up a replay as we take a closer look at this one. Into turn 3, 98 on a mission and had to come to a stop via the 12.
Yeah, it was tough to 12. It was tough to tell if the 12, I should say, saw him down there. As you see the
at this point the spotter is saying clear low.
Right, there's nobody on the inside of the racetrack, so he wants to make a move down low. I think he just hesitated a little bit too long, and when he finally commits, obviously faster lane on the inside of the racetrack, you got that 9811 key there.
And then a little contact up above on the screen, but we continue on racing. Lights out from the pace car.
Slow start to this one. I said that when we saw the super late models getting physical that I think we were turning it up, but anytime we get to a main event, obviously that's going to be the case, and that did not work.
No. I don't think these kids are in their proper lineup. Herzog, though, is ready.
It's easy to tell who's P1.
Yes.
And they swap out the front row because on the last restart, Herzog was on the outside, so we'll see if the 18 machine of Edwards can maybe use that top side to get back by him.
Well, I was going to say, there might not be a ton of cars in this class like the super late models, but we've got a competitive field here tonight based off of the first 6 laps I've seen. So I take that back. You're right. They are not counting cautions. I thought that they were, but I've yet to see the lap counter tick, which is good news.
Means 75 laps, no matter how many cars we wreck.
That's true. Or how many times we got to restart it and everything else.
I think this is the 3rd time we're going to have a restart. They didn't like the first one, and then 2 incidents on track, so we'll restart. 64 laps to go, side by side. They just swap up the front row, so Herzog is on the bottom. Edwards is going to be topside this time to 4.
Well, Herzog is your leader down the back straightaway. Here comes Love now for the 2nd spot. Underneath the number 38 of Edwards. He will take the spot, and I think he thought what I thought was going to happen.
He cleared high. You don't typically clear high, but he pulled up on him to get that spot. So Love is going to maintain, or rather get, I guess, that 2nd spot. Kicks Edwards back to 3rd, and you got Deza West right there. P4 single file line, top to bottom. A little bit more sane than the first green flag we saw.
Yes. Hey, you know what I'm starting to notice here? The wind is going away.
Well, you jinxed it now. So
I know.
I wasn't saying.
Here comes the Haboob.
Guys at the back here that you're watching are really going at it. Everybody behind that 24 of RJ Smotherman. Tanner Reef right there as well.
debris. Well, that's a trash bag.
I don't know if they'd throw a yellow for a water bottle here.
I don't know. Junior is not in the front.
Well, if you're pulling for Herzog, you hope it doesn't, but I mean, Love's right there. The battle for the race lead is not non-existent. You're looking at all the excitement behind. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically everybody going at it. Yet to see side by side out of them, but again, you're so stacked up that somebody just gets a little bit late into the gas and they'll be right on top of them. Same for the race lead here. That 38 right there.
Jesse Love in the second spot. We saw him use the bumper in the midget heat races. This car, a little bit better to use a bumper on. And he might have to use it here on Herzog.
Oh, and it always helps that the car you're going to use a bumper on has a bumper.
Yes.
A physical bumper. It always makes things easier.
Herzog with that offset-looking body. Kind of a more outlaw look. She has the 38 of Jesse Love's. His with a standard 5-star type body.
I'm digging that 11. You're going to get shot at it at a turn number 4 there.
See the offset. I mean, you can almost ride passenger on the side, hold on to the roof. That's what's fun about Madera Speedways. They do allow you to fabricate some bodywork. It's a third mile. You're not getting too fast, so aerodynamics will not play a big role. Here, however, a lot more faster speeds, and that 11 machine might have an advantage with that body, funny enough.
Well, Love's keeping them honest nonetheless. I mean, they're right there. You can see when they go into the corner, and you really see it in turn 3 that he's driving it a little bit harder from P2, but the gap kind of remains about the same by the time they get back down to this end of the racetrack. But the top 2 really strong. They got comfortable gap over Edwards in 3rd. He's kind of all by himself ahead of West in 4th and Lepke in P5. But his battle for the race lead is showing no signs of fading away. 17 laps in, now 18 laps into a 70-lap main event.
Kind of scanning the field here. West in the 21 machine in 3rd, or 4th, I should say, with the 98. In 4th. Edwards in the 3rd spot. He actually seems to be getting chased down by the 21 of West.
Yeah, no man's land no longer. He's getting reeled in a little bit.
Brett looking number 18 machine. And then if we scoot back here, we got the number 43 who was part of our first sets of cautions in front of the 12, 24, and the 16 who was also part of it. So the field spread out, single file throughout this field, 21 down of 70.
24's lost some of these spots in the last couple of laps because Smotherman was P6 leading that 4-way battle for 6, 7, 8, 9 and fell to P8, so Reef and Keller was able to pick up a couple of those spots. So Smotherman falling down in front of Lily Mead just behind to round out the field P9.
You can really hear the rev limiters now. They are bouncing off the rev chip. These cars are dialed down to, I believe, 5,000 RPMs or something close to it. So you can't really build a high torquey motor. You can't really go crazy because you will get it restricted by your ignition, which at the start of these races, until the car handling really takes over, it makes it an exciting, like restrictor plate racing, if you will, where they're all in a pack.
You can really hear it on the 12 when it comes by. Watching the battle at turn number 4 between the 21 of West and the 98 of Lemke. This is the group that had been catching Edwards until they started fighting amongst themselves. Edwards is still losing time for the race leaders, though, so I don't think it's that the 18's found anything. It's just that these guys are having some fun.
So with this split main event is what it's called, I believe, and don't put it all on my chest, but I believe that the results of tonight are how they're going to reline the remainder of the 70-lap main event tomorrow night. Could be wrong. Been wrong before. I have no shame in my game to admit it.
It sounds good to me. It makes sense.
Still seeing a battle for fourth. Slowly but surely. Now we got them side by side nearly out of turn number 4.
Lemke was peaking, just couldn't keep that car in there coming off of turn number 4. As we start to get into the middle portion of this race, 40 laps to go, your race leaders are going to have to start to deal with some of this lap traffic. It's not really a battle for the race lead at the moment. Still most exciting action on track is right there. In a battle for 4th and 5th between West and Lemke, but lap traffic can be a factor as long as it stays green throughout.
Go check in on your leader right now. Herzog still about 5 car lanes ahead of West in the number 38. They're going to be closing in on lap traffic now. This could be telling.
And that lap traffic's going to fight. You see them going at it.
Yeah, they're battling right ahead of your leaders right now. They have no reason to move over for your leaders other than the flagman probably telling them to, but hard to move over when you're battling for position.
24 of RJ Smotherman, P8, Lily Mead, and the 16 is 9 final 2 cars at a lead lap right behind him. Race leader, number 11, Boston Herzog to the inside, and at least going to get by one of them without incident.
The battle continues with the lead now. They are nearly nose to tail.
Love has definitely been able to close in, but I think Herzog going to be able to clear the 24 this time, is going to be able to get that gap right back, and Love will clear as well, so relatively painless for the top 2. They do clear that lap traffic, and it doesn't really affect that battle for position. 8th to 9th, still 8th to 9th, and we're back to that 5 car length gap. And through all of that as well, we took the cross flag, so past the halfway point in these 70 now counting down.
Oh, I was going to leave this battle, but the yellow flies, and the checkered will wave. So, I was half right. The checkered flag waves, so we're going to see the second part of this main event play out, I believe, either tonight or tomorrow. What is the schedule?
If we cover both bases, tonight or tomorrow, we're correct.
We're here all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which still does not give me time to fix my damn front straightaway shot. But I do see interesting. I do see the pace car pulling onto the track and not escorting these drivers. Well, Herzog just pulled off.
So the winner left.
So the winner,
or the leader.
Yeah, and now Love is trying to pass the pace car.
So if it's consolidation, maybe you're not the only one. We're not the only ones who aren't 100%. 38 going by now, and a 24 now behind the pace car.
I see the flagman throwing up the "What's up" sign, which means 2 hands spread across his chest.
It's the official signal.
So we got 35 laps to the finish with Herzog and Love battling it out.
All right, we're back with junior late models rounding out their night of racing. 35 of 70.
Maryland Courage, please go back to your pit area.
Now we don't have to worry about the track announcer. Not that it was a bad thing.
And I think we heard it, but again, because it's picking this one up to the halfway point, Austin Herzog is in front. Jesse Love, Austin Edwards, Dezel West, and Adam Lemke, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Talk about everybody else. You got Tanner Reef in P6, Kyle Keller in 7th, RJ Smotherman at 8th, and Lily Mead in P9. Halfway home, 35 down, 35 to go. This time, pace car is in.
All right, so Herzog going to carry on where he left off. See if he can complete it all the way to the checkers. We go back to green.
38 almost clear by the time he got the 1, but it's not going to work out. Herzog stays in front, top 4. Single file out. Battle is on, though, for P5. It's Lemke right in the middle of it all.
so far through the field. I'm seeing a battle brewing for third. Edwards starting to put the pressure on West. As you see them coming down the front straightaway. Hey, look, I got that camera fixed.
Single file line top to bottom, but it doesn't mean that there aren't fights going on. Everybody separated by maybe 1 or 2 car lengths at most. That 11 machine on the left side there, your race leader, only working with a small advantage over Love. They were going at it. Those two, I mean, third place, fourth on the back, they weren't really out of this thing, but top 2 were going at each other. Curious if that's going to pick back up inside of the final 30 laps of this race as of this time by.
I'm curious if Love has been saving something. Maybe he's got a little left in the tank. Is he sizing up Herzog? Or are we literally seeing these doggies run to their max?
Battle for third, going to appear Desel West under attack by Edwards. Edwards started this race up front, but lost a lot of spots off of a restart. Fell to P4 where he was dead even. That time by the start-finish line, they'll give the spot to West, but Edwards on the inside, going to get him that time.
And the 98 of Lemke gets to the inside of West. Here comes the 43 now.
And that's exactly how Edwards fell back to earlier, is you get one guy on your inside and he'll just jump all over you. Not going to give up, though, looking right back to the inside. Thought he was going to cross up brief. Doesn't happen, though, but he's right there still to turn forward.
21 of West again, taking a look to the inside of Reeve from the 43.
Battle is for P5 at a racetrack right now. Pretty dead even every single time. Come by that start-finish line and back off the turns 1 and 2. You have to think the inside's the place to be, and I don't know if there was a little bit of a touch there, but it is going to give West the position, and Reeve going to have to try to set him up and go forward again, 0 for 2. See if third time's the charm, if he can get back on him.
Meanwhile, your leaders out of turn number 2, Herzog and Love, still in what we've seen all race for these late models, junior late models, kids, if you will. The most mature kids you'll ever see in me. Because I don't know about you, Evan, but I have never driven a late model. I've never raced a late model. And these kids can go up to their parents or their crew chief and say, dude, this is where you need to fix. At the ripe old age of about 13 years old.
Yep, never have I ever.
Yes, exactly.
And we are starting to see that separation now between 1, 2, and then third on the back, like we saw earlier on. Edwards has been able to get that third spot, but he's well off and behind this battle for the race lead. And again, Love is just constantly a thorn in Herzog's side. He hasn't been able to get to the bumper, hasn't been able to get to his inside, but he will not go away. And there's no doubt the 11 can feel that pressure from behind.
Closing in, and 20 to go. Top 2 on the screen, and Love throws it into turn number 3. In some ways, I feel like, I don't know why I'm getting this vibe, Evan, but I feel like the 38 is just testing the waters. I don't know. I mean, you could counter-argue with me, but not based off of what I'm looking at right now. I feel like Love, I feel like he's got stuff left in the tank that he's not going to throw his aces on the table until he needs to.
Well, and the pace of this second half of the race has been very different than what we saw earlier on, because we had a real choppy go at it to get things underway, and the gap has grown a little bit between the guys up front, but could easily go these 35 laps to the end, 17 laps to go the next time by. So he does still have time. That's longer than a lot of the heat races that we've seen this evening. But the grand scheme of things, you're starting to get down the crunch time. If he's sitting on anything, you got to put it to use.
Everybody else single file, except for back here. There are single file, but really no battle except for your lead that we've kind of been keeping an eye on, and this battle here for the 5th or 6th battle.
Very similar to the battle for the race lead, about the same distance between the two cars. You're right on each other, but I've yet to see that little bit extra to make a challenge for the position in that fight for P5.
21 of West has it, but here comes Reef in the 43 looking low. West sideways out of turn number 4. And possibly putting the bumper now.
seeing 3 really driving it into the corner. Goes from it a car length right there. Gets right on the doorstep and a tap the bump and run for 5th. Old hang on, not successful.
Seems like turns number 3 and 4 for that 43 are where he likes to run. Better than the 21 right now as they come down the front straightaway. And into your living room there.
Nope. 10 laps to go, and again, these guys have been this tight since the restart, but I think the impatience is starting to catch up. Second time he's hit him in turn 4.
No change right now for your lead battle. This is the battle to watch here on Low Budget TV.
Herzog still leading over Jesse Love, but a car length or 2 in between them, just as they were about 5-10 laps ago. There's another hit, 3rd time in a row, at a turn 4. He's testing the stability of that back bumper.
I wonder what's going to happen if Reef gets by West.
Something tells me he would like to try out the same experiment.
Yeah. He's got all night to fix it if needed.
You got to make it to the end of the race. That's the key. You want to be able to get through all 70 of these laps. Oh, and spinning, turn 4.
Oh, is this a battle for the lead?
It was a battle for the. It came out of nowhere. Jesse Love, again, we were telling you about the battle for the race. He really wasn't there. And he drove it in all of a sudden to the inside of 11 to Herzog, got sideways, and I think the 38 might be hurt. He's slowing down the back.
Could wonder if it's got to be a tire issue or something. Whether that car, like you said, there was no battle going on. The 38 stepped out, and now he might bring out a caution.
Like, the 38 was there, but we didn't see them side by side. It was a very aggressive maneuver, and I don't know if there was contact that cut a tire or if it was just him overdriving to the inside. You are going to get the caution flag, though, so caution at 8 laps to go.
Interesting. Well, that's not the way Love wants to finish out his Friday night, as we have, like you said, about 9, potentially 8 laps to go, depending on if we're going to revert or if we already have.
Well, I was just talking about before that, about that battle for 5 and 6. Again, want to get that little bit extra, and it's a different dynamic when you're battling for the race lead 1st and 2nd compared to when you're fighting for 5th and 6th, but you want to be able to get to the end, and the track crew down there in turn number 3, getting an eye on the 38, but this takes him out of this race. He doesn't have the ability like we saw in the trucks to have so little competitors on the same lap that it's not going to be an issue, so he's going to get kicked all the way down to P9 and essentially take him out of this race. Austin Edwards, who was running in 3rd, will now assume the number 2 spot. Lemke get to jump up to 3rd, West to P4, and Reef to now round out your top 5. And just based on what we're seeing, or rather the lack of what we're seeing, I'd say the 38 might be done for the night.
I'm going to go at a second attempt of race control. Good job, by the way, on switching cameras. See, I got Evan figuring this stuff out quick. I guess he's got no choice because then I'd have to literally reach over and elbow you every time.
Push me into the space bar and do the trick.
But no, I like what I see. Oh, I think that worked.
It sounded like him.
We'll test out that level.
And Love is still in this race. Is he the 38 there? He's not giving up. They gave him a push. Looked like he might have been pushed all the way back, but green this time by, as you heard from race control. So in theory, based on what we've seen tonight, Herzog should be in a pretty good spot. But we'll see if Edwards, Lemke, anybody else can make a challenge for this one as we come to it. 8 laps left to go in this 70-lap feature.
Oh, look what's happening up front.
Good run on the outside for Edwards, but turn 2 is always tough on the restart, and the 11 Machida Herzog cross him and over, though. So Edwards wants to take advantage of this. Side by side for the lead. Couldn't do it top side, can't do it bottom side.
Well, that was a hefty battle. Probably one of the biggest battles he's dealt with all race long for the lead. Battle here with the 24 of Smotherman.
43 Reeve the advantage in that fight. Big single file line. Obviously not a lot of separation. This much off for the restart. Another challenge for the race lead is going to come, though. The 18 going to go to the inside. Same positioning they had 2 laps ago. The 11er Shida Herzog was able to get it off the corner.
Dueling down the front straightaway. I think Edwards might,
with him.
Yeah, he might upset this one at the end with just a handful of laps left, less than a handful.
And cleared him, and now that 11 machine's in a tough spot. Herzog's now boxed out because he's got the 98 of Adam Lemke to his inside, so he can't even get back and try to respond to Edwards because he falls to 3rd.
What a shake-up here at the end.
The 11's going to go back and challenge for P2, but after he so confidently held off Edwards both inside and out on for the restart, I thought that he was going to be pretty good to go, and then all of a sudden the 18 turns it up a wick. Of course, the 11 not going to give up. Herzog is able to get that spot back, so he will drop Lemke to 3rd. But the 11 of Herzog not with a lot of time left this time by. 2 laps to go.
West now, like you said, to the inside for 3rd. And here comes Reeve making it a almost 3 wide battle out of 2.
An aggressive entry there all the way to the back bumper. Maybe too aggressive, hanging on.
Short track racing here. Well, Evan, the 18 kind of came on as a surprise there. That restart really did him in.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of luck and a little bit of driving, and tonight both of those come together, and he's going to get the checkered flag courtesy of a nice move at an 8 lap to go restart. Austin Edwards winning your truck feature tonight.
I don't know what the hell happened there, but that was exciting.
I saw the pace car drive that route once.
Yeah.
So Herzog was able to get back up to 2nd, but that's all he's going to be able to get. And again, you could see very clearly in the second half of this feature, the top 2 well and strong above 3rd on the back, and you have an issue with driver on the front row dropping out. Jesse Love is going to get 9th out of 9 in this race after running so strong, and Austin Edwards does not let that 8 lap to go restart do him no benefit. He takes advantage of it. He's going to come around parking to victory lane.
Now, my brain has always been a little off. Did you kind of find that ironic that Jesse Love started the night with a horrible result over in turn 3, but couldn't get his midget car started over in turn 3?
That's the same spot on the racetrack where it all comes down for him.
Edwards is trying to pull some donuts here, but he had some lap traffic, if you will.
He's going to pull into the squared victory circle.
Dave Thomas would be proud. I think so. Are you getting a haircut next to me? All right, well, we're going to send it downstairs to victory lane. Austin the Ace Edwards takes it home tonight.
He's almost ready to get out. Our race winner, Austin Edwards, everybody.
I think they're running. Oh.
Nice job, Austin. Little trophy here for you.
The sign's gone, but we know what he won.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Everything
The
changed
lower
after
third
that
graphic
restart. Can you
cannot
just talk
blow
about those last few laps?
Well, you know, the last time I was at this track was 2 years ago, and I was driving a Bandolero. First time in my late model this track, I did not expect to be in the winner's circle. I cannot believe where I am right now.
How different is it driving a Bando here versus late model?
I couldn't even tell the difference. It's not even the same track.
What did you think after they got tangled up and they were way ahead? And did you think you had a chance after the restart?
I don't know. That was 11 car was so fast, and I don't know what I did differently, but apparently we had the speed at the end to be able to come out first.
How's it feel to win a race like this at the Bullring here in Vegas?
I've only won one race in this car. That was at Madeira Speedway about 2 years ago. It feels so good to be back in the winner's circle. It feels incredible.
And tell everybody where you're from and how old you are.
I'm from Mentone, California, around the San Bernardino area, and I'm 12 years old.
All right, congratulations. Not bad for a 12-year-old, huh? Congratulations.
12 years old. What was I doing at 12 years old?
I was just thinking that.
I think you and I have a difference of age by probably a bit. But for at 12 years old, 2001. At 12 years old, what was I doing? I think I was in. At 12 years old, I was in junior high.
One more time for Austin Edwards, everybody.
Or no, I was a 6th
12
grade.
years old, Scotty.